I love how we've been able to go in, create all these various moving parts, and really kind of componentize everything inside of Angular. But everything that we've done up until now has all been local data. What about calling a server? How do we
Yeah,
do that?
absolutely. So one of the providers that we can use with Angular, one of the libraries essentially, is RxJS. So it's one of the libraries we can import, and we can use these things called observables. And really, they're just a way for us to get data from a server, and then when the data finally comes back from the server, once we do the request and the data comes back, we can use that data, right? So it's a simple HTTP request and response, and this is an AJAX type request and response. And to clarify, that means that we don't have to reload the page, right? We can call out the server and say, hey, grab me this data from the server, and then when and if the server responds back, we can have a block of code that runs that perhaps updates our service provider and updates the tasks in our service provider. So what we see here is the service provider. And in this service provider, we have, if you notice in the top, we have imported the observable object. And with that, we have also the, if you see further up, the HTTP module for HTTP and the response and the HTTP providers, which we need to work this. And so what we're doing is simply, if you notice there, this.http.get is simply saying, do a GET request to tasks.json or whatever URL you may have. And when the data comes back, map the response so all the data becomes JSON type data. And when and if it comes back, we can use now this variable called a promise to, once it invokes the then function, we can take the data and do whatever we want with it. In this case here, we're saying when and if the server responds, I want to console log the data, and then I want to put all that data, which I defined here as tasks, into my service provider's tasks variable. So the task service there that we have, the moment this get task function triggers and we get the data back, it will update our tasks array. And when the tasks array updates, if any of our components have injected this task service in them, all of their data will be updated in real time.
Okay, so that's really it. All I have to basically do is just simply say, hey, I want to go get my JSON data, and then Angular takes care of the rest for me.
Exactly. That, or if you wanted to update something or delete something, same thing.
Okay, well, show me the code.
Sounds good.